This video is mainly about basic map creation with DungeonDraft. I will not go into any advanced techniques like shading or multiple layers. I will quickly touch on it. This is mainly about how to make your first ever map. There are a few things you need. The need for a map. Our need for a map is artificial, but it will be we need our players to be in some kind of forest with a river. We want a river, we want a forest, maybe a bit of a beach space. And we want our players to be there and fight some monsters. First, we should think about the map. For this, we open up Trusty Paint. What do we want of our map? Well, we first want it to be a rectangle, so we will just quickly make a rectangle. We want a river. Where do we want our river to go? I don't know, maybe somewhere like this, from the bottom to the top. Then we want some trees. And we want some more trees. And then maybe we want a kind of road going over here. That's it. This is all that we are gonna start with before we go over into DungeonDraft. We will go to New and make a new maps. I think we're gonna be fine making this 15 by 15 tiles. I would probably go even smaller and go at 10, but then it gets a bit crowded. We will disable we will not disable the shadows because we are not shading today, and for our asset pack selection I will just deselect all. Okay. Here we are. What do we want to start with? We will start with our terrain. This is our base terrain. We want grass. There will be grass here. What do we use for our river? Rocky. Dirt. And then we will just use some gravel. Always put smooth blending on. It will make your life better. Your scroll wheel changes the size of your brush. If you hold Control, you zoom, and if you hold space, you can move. We press G to toggle the grid, S to toggle the snap, and L to do the lighting, but you don't really need to. If we think about what's important for our terrain, I will switch this one to sand, you will see why. This river is important. We will use the water brush for this because we don't have any other assets. What size do you want? Well, we have a set amount of sizes, so we will use this one. What I would recommend is make the deep color and the shallow color, the blue ones. And then we will just paint in our river. Boop. If you don't like something, if we press Alt, you can erase. And obviously you can go back with Control C. But I like this river. It's simple. Ah, it has grass beneath it. No problem. We will go to the terrain. We can first try rocky. That doesn't look bad. But if we use sand, we can also paint in, thanks to smooth blending, our edges. So we paint in a few edges to give this river the look that it does have a bit of a sandy shore. We make sure that we paint in underneath the water, and we will also just keep the default water border. Great. We have a river. We can now, thanks to also smooth blending again, put in a bit of these rocks. There we go. That's fine for the beginning. We want our road. We will once again use the sand. We will go a bit lower, but if you hold control here, shit, which one was it? Well, if you up your intensity, it will fill your circle faster. So for this road, I am going to keep my intensity at 8. Paint this road. And now change it back to something like 4. Change back to the grass and just paint in a bit there and here. It's not perfect, it's a little forest path. And then with the gravel, intensity goes down even more. We can just make this road an actual road. There we go. We have water, we have that. We can look into the paths or cliff. What does this path allow us to do? If we place it above the water, we can make our water look better. So we can just take the cliff path, go around here, boom. You notice I have to start from the bottom because this cliff path has a quite clear distinction about what's on top and what's the top and what isn't, thanks to its shading. There we go. Now our river is a bit deeper. We can put in a little bridge if we want to, you see. And then we need to make sure to finish it at a nice point. Boom, bridge. If you want to make these kind of posts, you can either just use this path to make these post things. If you do not find anything that you like, I need to stop rotating these. And then we can use the rope path. Previous tool brings us back. Ah, that's too big. Control C. Put down the width. We also want this under. What this allows us? Do this. But oh no. Now this path, if you press X, you bring up the selection tool. Now this path is in our way. No problem. Send it to the back. Same for this one. Send it to the back. I accidentally changed these to a rope path earlier. Oops. So let's put those here. Previous tool again. We still want to do a rope. We will use over. And then we will put this a bit, and then we will. You need to hold Shift to select multiple things. Click, Shift, click, 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 bring to front. There we go. Now the only thing we are really missing are trees. For this you go into Objects and you can either use Scatter or just the Object tool. We will place these on User Layer 2. Scatter tool. What can we put in? We can put in a scale range. For this, I will just easily put it at 0.5 to 1. Rotation is fine. And if you put a lower spread, they will have less distance between each other. Use a layer 2. Tags. We want trees. There are some trees. Select one tree. We will use this one. Hold Shift, select the later tree. And now we can start placing these kind of trees. Just repeatedly clicking instead of dragging. We will use this tree, put it on top of these, because we got a tree with a really large size. Which means that if we put it over other trees, it will make it seem like these trees have a bit more depth to them. Which is, again, one of the really important things. Is just making sure that the map, in my opinion at least, I do not like these control deselect. We have enough stumps. Having this depth does just make your map better. If you want to put a tree under something, no problem. Just click under. I want a little tree over here. But I don't want it under. I want it over these. Boom. And just like this, we have made a simple map that will serve us well if we want to do something. We will save this map. A little extra window opens that I will show you. Let me quickly put this on. A little window opens. We will just call this forest river path. Save it. Success, it has saved. You can also see that we spent about 15 minutes on this map. So while it's not the greatest creation ever, it does serve very well what we aim to do. We can go to export. We will export as a WebP. We can export the grid, but I wouldn't if you are going to use the Roll20 grid anyway. We can leave lighting on. Grid PPI, I would keep it at 70 for any VTTs like Roll20. Otherwise you probably can't upload it. Export. It will open up another thing. What do you want to call this? Well, I want to call this forest river path day. Done. But now we want to make this a night map. We like night. We come to effects, environment, ambient light. I would change to somewhere around here and then move it. Boom. Night map. But oh no. I want it to not feel this dark. We have 3 lights in the normal one. I would just go for this. If you want to have more of a torch thing, make it so. And click, 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 click. We now have these 4 little lights. We just need to fit them with a torch. There are no real good torches here. Light. There are some okay lights. We will just use this. Boop, boop, boop. Click, 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 click. And we have made a night map. Export, export. We can just click on our day map if I find it there. And we just call this night. Save. What if we want to have both of these in one file? Settings, levels, create, new level, night, clone level, currently ground, accept. Ground level, day. And just Control C. Until we arrive at the environment light. Environment, and for day maps, you would just usually start with full white. Save the map. And we now have 2 versions of this map in one file, both exported. That's it. You can now go and upload this map to Roll20, set the dimensions, and have your players start exploring.